Thank you, Steve. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the final sprint in the 2022 trilogy. And we have saved the best till last. Kevin Magnussen leads the grid from pole position for the first time in his career. The first time in the Haas's team existence. And the shock of the season, providing some amazing statistics. It's the first pole for Denmark in Formula One. It's the first US constructor to take a pole position since 1975. And it was the third longest wait in terms of qualifying sessions before taking a pole. 141 attempts, which moves you, Mark Webber, down the list.
Good luck, Kev. Have fun.
There we go. That's the message we want. Good luck, Kev. Have fun. Yeah, I'm down the list, mate, on lots of lists, actually. But it's a pleasure to be here, mate. I am really looking forward to this. I mean, what a mixed grid we've got. Mr. Verstappen's on the median there, the left-hand side of the grid. So, short race, will be a cracker.
24 laps, 8 points for the winner. Top 8 score points, 8, 7, 6, and so on. On board with the driver who's on the medium tyre. Our pole sitter, Kevin Magnussen, is on the red walled soft. So is Russell behind in third. Norris in fourth is on the same tyre. So is Sainz, who will take a 5-place penalty for the Grand Prix start tomorrow. But Mark, you're a 2-time winner of the Grand Prix here. Tell us about this venue, one of the best in Formula One.
One of the best tracks in the world, mate. It's very undulating, this last sector here. Heavy climb uphill, very, very quick left-handers, physically very challenging circuit. The crowd, you know, they're right on top of you in this last sector. The energy's electric. It's just a cracking circuit. All the curves are quite different. A lot of character in this track, so the drivers love it. And, I mean, this man right now, I don't know when the last time he started a race on pole position, but I tell you what, it was a while ago. And he'll pull it up here and think, I'm going to have quite a long wait here. But enjoy the moment, mate. Get it off the line. Get it into turn 1. Hit the apex because he wants to get through 2. And that run down the hill as well. So the first sector for him, critical.
So Haas looking for points, but Magnussen knows this opportunity will not come around again. Motorsport royalty down there in the pit lane. Fittipaldi, Massa looking on from the various garages. It's lights to flag. There is no mandatory pit stop. One Haas at the front, one Haas at the back. A very unusual occurrence. Schumacher on the attack. Magnussen is famed for his defense in Formula One. And this, I imagine, is going to be so special. 2.6 miles, 24 laps. And the final sprint of the year begins when the 5 red lights go out. They leave the line and we're sprinting down to turn 1 with Kevin Magnussen getting a rocket of a launch off the line. He's going to hold the lead into turn 1. It's Magnussen P1. It's Verstappen in second, holding off George Russell, who maintains third. Will they all make it through? Magnussen has disappeared as the medium shod Verstappen tries to hang on to the rest of the field, and looking there, trying to make his way through the former teammates. Sainz up against Norris, diving to the inside there, looking for a way by his Ocon, side by side with his teammate. Will Alonso and Ocon give each other room? And they very nearly took each other out. Somehow, Alonso still pointing in the right direction. They're all over the road there, but a brilliant start for Kevin Magnussen, who remains the leader.
Brilliant start for him, mate. First sector, very, very clean. I tell you what, the 2 Alpines, that was hairy stuff for Fernando Alonso. He was on the curb in turn 4, held together nicely. I tell you what here, finding the way through turn 9 up to turn 10. It's a narrow circuit too. Look at everyone trying to jostle positions here. But, mate, yeah, Magnussen, what a dream start to this little sprint race he's got on his hands here.
So it got very, very close between the Alpines, and Alonso is leaving that team, and I cannot believe he kept it pointing in the right direction. George Russell with a run, no DRS at this stage. It's an attacking sprint race already. All the momentum gained out of the final proper corner on the racetrack. We've got a battle for second place in the sprint. We've also got a battle further back for fourth as well. Look back to Sainz, trying the up and under, going past Lando Norris and moving up to P4. He's not the only one. Going backwards with a damaged front wing appears to be Fernando Alonso, and it's tied in the background there. Here's Russell again on the attack. Verstappen's having to defend because he hasn't got the grip on that tyre. He's very nearly off the road when he was fighting another Mercedes before. And as we climb the hill, can Russell get the momentum? No, but he's heaping the pressure on at the moment. Alonso did have damage to that front wing. He's dropped down to 9th. Did he have contact with his teammate into the centre S's?
I'm not sure what part of his front wing is damaged, mate, but whether it was the curb or there was contact with his teammate, but he is going to have to make a stop or have huge degradation with a car which is very much going to be out of balance here. But I tell you what, who says the sprint races aren't aggressive? The boys are getting into it here. I tell you what, Russell putting some heat on Max, and now look at this. They're both arrived on Kevin Magnussen here. He's settled in for the first few laps, and I tell you what, now he's got 22 laps of an absolute huge test on how he's going to handle this. How aggressive will he be? Is it going to be, you know, winner-take-all mentality? He's going to be... We've got here, we got Lewis Hamilton down the inside of Fernando too. I'm sorry, mate. Yeah, so yeah, it's a clean move into turn one.
There is front wing, there is blue front wing of Alpine done there. Verstappen's got through! Verstappen's got through and into the lead of the sprint race. Can Magnussen respond to the first time of asking? And we were watching Hamilton's move further back, and Max Verstappen on the medium tyre takes the lead away from the Haas, but Kevin Magnussen had his moment in the sun. He got off the lead, he held the lead, but there's nothing he could do. This was the first opportunity he got. Guess what?
Yeah, and also, you know, he didn't defend. He knows he's trying to, of course, finish this race as far up as he can, because this is also the grid for tomorrow's long race as well.
It is a track that produced the most overtaking throughout the entire Formula One Grand Prix season last year, and George Russell just has to pick where he places the car. It is hard to defend down the main straight. Change for second position. George Russell goes through. Max Verstappen has the lead. He turned it on when he needed to. Hamilton improved past Ocon, and now Perez has got past Ocon, and we'll see a replay of it, I'm sure. Fernando Alonso is at the back of the field. Lewis Hamilton has the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and now Magnussen has Sainz to deal with. He doesn't fancy fighting him either. He waves him by. Sainz, who's going to take that 5th-place penalty, up to P3, and it's Verstappen, then Russell, then Sainz. Magnussen will choose to fight. I imagine he'll choose to fight in the next few moments.
Yeah, that's right. I'll tell you what, the Mercs are looking pretty handy too. This is here it is. Now, this is the replay turn 4 on the first lap. He's got Esteban Ocon on the inside of him there. Tried to run around the outside. It was quite optimistic from Fernando, I must say. And where was that front wing damage? There it is there. It's pushed up on the side of the side pod of the right-hand side. And watch this now. This is Ocon in front of Fernando through the suit. It'll be feedback here.
I lost the win, I think. Thanks to our friend.
Oh, yeah. So there's a bit of tension there between... Oh, there, he's had a big fight back down the inside there.
So he pushed me in turn 4, and then finally on the straight. Yeah, well done. Yeah, copy that, mate. limits, 4.
Copy.
Sebastian Vettel has a terrific record here, and his teammates nearly put him off the road. Wow, he was chopped to the wall there. And that is going to be contention down at Alpine and a frosty debrief down at Aston Martin. You wouldn't know they were teammates if the cars weren't painted the same colour.
That was all a bit unnecessary, though, I thought, in terms of, he had a decent run and squeezed him on the grass there. But here we're going to have a replay here. Watch him just... Dear, oh dear, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, that's, Seb won't be happy either.
Okay.
Yep, okay. Yep, interesting. Yeah, well, that was... I'll tell you what, the two teammates are ripping into each other today, aren't they, mate? It's they think it's the main race, I think, today. They got the days mixed up.
This is certainly the most aggressive sprint race that we've seen so far. Take two, a 4-time champion of the world up against Lance Stroll to the inside. And Stroll will not fight it this time, can't fight it this time. Can he get in the slipstream and respond? And a one-word response to the chop is met by a one move to the inside. An 11th place for Sebastian Vettel. At the moment, neither of them scoring points. Daniel Ricciardo trying to get past both of them. And Charles Leclerc, he's going to get a solitary point. He was furious, the angriest we've ever heard him on the team radio. He described the team's performance as beautiful, with a few other words that we're not allowed to mention because of Ofcom. But he was not happy with the team strategy yesterday. He's trying to clear a couple of drivers. Medium tyre isn't working at the moment for Max Verstappen. George Russell, he's never been the first at the end of any Formula One race. It would be a strange one to stand on the top step for a sprint, but he wants it. He's got an opportunity. He's in the wheel tracks. We're going to have to go full screen on that in a moment because Russell's gaining with every single metre. George Russell for the lead of the sprint forces the defensive shape out of the two-time world champion, and we go down the centre S's. He had DRS before. He'll get another go, Mark. He's nearly going round. He's nearly going round the outside. Crowd roaring, and Verstappen is heavily on the defensive here with DRS and going through to take the lead of the sprint. Can he do it, George Russell? Can Verstappen make the corner? Brilliant wheel-to-wheel racing, and that is a champion's defence because he's just stayed ahead.
Phenomenal performance from Max Verstappen. That was an absolute blowtorch from George Russell into 1, into 4 with the DRS as well. I tell you what, Verstappen's, and guess what, mate? I don't want to have a Mercedes to win any race this year. We are going to win everything if we can, but I tell you what, the Mercs are looking awesome. They look quick, and they've got some good top speed as well, so this is not over yet. I tell you what, Verstappen might have used quite a little, he's ran wide in turn 10 there as well. Not the best, and not pretty tidy exit, but actually in the apex he looks a bit wide. Now let's see what happens now. This is going to be part 2 to this, ladies and gentlemen.
That was phenomenal. George Russell, a Formula 2 champion of the past, a GP3 champion of the past, on pole position. back in Budapest, hasn't had an opportunity this year. When he joined the team, he would have been expecting to fight week in, week out for victories, or at least P1. He's got another opportunity to get past Verstappen. He waits for Verstappen to make the move. Wonderful camera angle as he tries, and he knows who he's fighting. Tries to come back in it. He's got so much traction through turn 3. In the wheel tracks he goes. Is this the moment? Immediate move from Verstappen, who's on the defensive, and he's inching ahead once again. How brave is he feeling to try and roar around the outside? He knows who he's racing. He's trying to force the error out of his rival. He's trying to go to the inside, and they're side by side as they climb the hill. Wonderful racing from the two of them. Once again, Verstappen's rearguard action works.
Fantastic, but how long can he continue to do this? I think Verstappen, they both know this is the front row tomorrow. They have to finish this race, so there's a lot at stake here between these two teams. A lot of history, we know that. They want to make sure that Red Bull can continue to win as many races as they want. They do know what to move. And we got
off the road, Alex Albon. Is he going to be able to keep it going? Albon is at the center S's at the start of the lap, and the crowd are being richly entertained, but it means that there are yellow flags at turn 1. That is not an overtaking opportunity. Team have got to be instantly on the radio to Russell. By the way, Sainz, Hamilton joining this party as well if this continues. Hamilton being noted for a start infringement. Track is now clear. Opportunity for George, but he backed out of it, and Verstappen is responding after a thunderous couple of attempts from George Russell.
Absolutely brilliant. And how many bullets did he use? Did he use a lot of, deployment and obviously overtake? They've got different settings on these engines to try to, they can't change them too much, but there is a little bit they can do to try and increase performance for a short period of time. But Russell was, very, very impressive there, how he was trying to position the car, putting Max offline in turn 1 to then have a better run through 2. So here's radio.
I hit some debris, but yeah, let's see.
Okay, so he thinks he's carrying a wounded car. Maybe he picked that up in the last sector. There's been a bit of contact in the early parts of the sprint race, so maybe he has got something lodged. There he is wide again at 10. He does not like that corner, and that's a very important corner because it sets you up for the two left-handers and really the last corner in terms of a technical corner in terms of the rest of the lap. He is full throttle. Russell looks very close. I think that he's really in trouble now, Verstappen, to hold Max. For Max to hold him out here. This is going to be very challenging. Alex?
Here we go. Take 3 of an enthralling battle. The record books will show that it was Magnussen who took pole position, but who starts the Grand Prix from the front? 10 laps to go. And Verstappen reporting, just like Silverstone, that he's hit debris. And now look at the traction that George Russell gets from those soft tyres. Is this the moment for the British driver trying to take the checkered flag first for the first time? And this time he gets through. This time he rolls by. George Russell takes the lead of the sprint, and he tries to check out of town. He's never won a Grand Prix, but he's just 10 laps away from winning the sprint. And Hamilton now trying to give Mercedes their best day of the season as he puts the pressure on Sainz.
They're on fire. We picked it early, didn't we, mate? They look so comfortable. The cars look balanced, good traction, and really, really good top speeds, because it hasn't been their Achilles heel this year, but he finally got the move. Third time lucky down here into 4. Gets the toe, pulls out, and then just had a lot more top speed on that particular lap. Here he goes.
Come on, George.
Okay, yep, they're pumped up. It's his to lose now. He won't lose this thing.
look at the fantastic view you get on the terraces around the 15th and final turn. Come for Carlos Sainz. Can he take second place? Verstappen can't defend, and they're nearly banging wheels into the centre S's. Through goes Carlos Sainz. Was the contact between tyre and front wing? And is the damage there to Verstappen's car? Will it go from bad to worse? Here we go with Verstappen versus Hamilton into turn 4 once again. There goes the front wing. That could be a black and orange flag anyway. No, it's all gone now. Verstappen hanging on to a car that was damaged before. It's got even worse for him. And now it's Hamilton versus Verstappen, and Hamilton knows better than to go around the outside there. What a thrilling 19 out of 24 laps we've been treated to. Sainz is in second place, minimising the damage of that 5-second penalty. And Verstappen is all over the road, jumping left, jumping right, trying to stay ahead of his old rival from last year. But it's surely just a matter of time before you hear the 60,000 fans around this circuit roar once again, because Hamilton is surely going to take his place in the top 3 of the sprint.
Yeah, absolutely. This Red Bull is really wounded now. He thought he had some damage before. That front left wing end plate is now completely disintegrated off the front main plane, so that's going to give him no end of headaches. And Lewis will just drive straight around the outside of him here, put some salt in the wounds for Max this afternoon.
Listen to the roar. That's the sound of Lewis Hamilton going through into third place.
I'm running out of tires.
Hamilton 1.6 behind, 1.6 behind, so try your best. Also he's suffering.
Here's the contact, wait for it, bang, there it is. At right rear, lucky Carlos didn't get a puncher actually. Very lucky he didn't get a puncher.
Let's just keep pressure on.
soon. Get a point.
We're on the final lap. Can Lewis Hamilton? He's had a drag race to the line with Pierre Gasly here once before. Can he heap the pressure on Sainz as he tries to hang on to what's left of that Pirelli rubber? Doesn't appear the way he went through the centre S's to be a lot on the car.
Yeah, no, good spot, mate. Really good spot, Alex. Yeah, he's struggling with the rear of those the soft tyres now. They're going off, as everyone's are, but you know, it's all relative. This man's got clean air now. He hasn't had to fight as much once he got past Max, so that's a benefit for him. But you know, this guy will be back tomorrow. The long race, Hamilton. I tell you what, when there's some strategy, where there's different compounds in play tomorrow, you know, he's so experienced. And as we know, Carlos getting a penalty for tomorrow's race for a new internal combustion engine, so it'll be a Merc front row and extraordinary sprint race, mate. There we go. Checkered flag at the end of this lap. I don't know who's waving it. I had Felipe Massa wave the flag at me once here, but I hope it's not Mr. Apple, because that was pretty relaxed, wasn't it, Austin? There you go, mate. Your call.
Here we go for George Russell, who for the first time in Formula One, he takes the checkered flag and celebrates victory in the sprint of Sao Paulo. Tomorrow, he goes for his maiden Grand Prix victory from the front of the field. Sainz will drop down 5 places from second. It's an all Mercedes front row for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, and Verstappen will want to fight back from third. But in a phenomenal season, he has finally reached the flag first. George Russell's maiden P1 in Formula One, and the last point scored by Kevin Magnussen, who started on pole. A great result for him. It might not look that impressive, but it's one more point to getting Haas the millions they would get for finishing in P8 of the championship. AlphaTauri, their main rivals, didn't score, but it's George's day, having made the pass for the lead.
That's how we roll, baby. That's how we roll. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. Big points for tomorrow. Let's go. Yeah, this was a good race.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Mega job, guys. Mega. Congrats to George. That's awesome.
So just remember, Sainz has got a penalty for tomorrow, so yeah, that should put us on the front row.
Can we race here every week? George Russell, a winner in GP3, a winner in Formula 2, champion at the end of both of those, and quiet satisfaction George Russell is the type of guy who finishes first in a sprint. Tomorrow, can he do it for the Grand Prix? There's the teammate to say well done. Mercedes will want the biggest trophy at the end of proceedings, not just on Saturday, but Sunday as well. And Sao Paulo has delivered another spectacular exhibition of Formula One. The top three are speaking to Naomi Schiff.
Massive congratulations, George. Your first win, sprint win. How was that race for you?
Yeah, it was incredible. I wasn't expecting to have that much pace, but I think, you know, it goes to show all the hard work everybody's putting in and the progress we as a team have made. And these last three races since Austin, the car's been feeling really great. Obviously, you know, it's difficult to know how Max would have got on had he been on the soft tyres, but nevertheless, you know, standing here is a great feeling.
Well, there was plenty of action on track during the race. We had a great time watching it. Third time lucky on Max, you made it round, and then it seemed smooth sailing for you from there.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit difficult because obviously this is the sprint race and you got to manage that risk reward. So even though I was dying to get that victory, I didn't want to risk it too much and end up in with no points and starting at the back. But you know, we made it stick third time lucky, yeah.
Well, it's going to be a front row start for Mercedes tomorrow because Carlos has got a penalty. What do you guys think you can do for the team here in Brazil?
I mean, it's crazy to think we're both starting in the front row, and you know, Lewis did a great job coming from P8, so it's going to be exciting. And you know, I'm sure Max is going to be flying tomorrow coming through the pack, but we're in a luxury position that we can maybe split the strategy and go for the win.
Well, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Carlos, second place today. Unfortunately, you have a penalty for tomorrow's race. How was that race for you? It seemed in the beginning that you didn't quite get the tires where you wanted them. Were you saving them for the end of the race?
Yeah, we normally have a bit more deck than the Mercs, and I could see them pushing quite hard. And yeah, I managed to make all the positions at the start or the first couple of laps, getting the fight with Max and George. I had to be aggressive because obviously tomorrow I'm taking the penalty, and in the end I think P2 was the maximum today. I was happy with the race, happy with the pace. It's just that the Mercs look like they picked up the pace a lot recently, and they are very quick in the race.
There seems to be a little bit of contact between you and Max. You had front wing damage after the overtake. What was your take on that?
It was on the limit for sure. They are so difficult to pass, and I had to really go tight into turn one in order to pass him with the Red Bull. You're either aggressive on the braking or you don't pass them because they're so quick on the straight that you really need to go for it on the braking. I'm sorry if I had a bit of contact, but that's racing, and sometimes you need to go for it if you want to make it stick.
Okay, well, does Team Ferrari have something in the bag for tomorrow?
I mean, we have decent pace this weekend. It's just that the Mercs maybe have a little bit more pace. Will be interesting to see tomorrow what happens when we all try the medium, like Verstappen today. See how that medium behaves, and obviously we would need to pass them on track tomorrow because I'm starting P7. I think Charles is starting P4 or P5, so we're gonna need a good race if we want to beat them.
Okay, well, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Lewis, coming on to you. Fantastic race today to come through the field. You're gonna have a front row start here on what's now your second home race.
Boa tarde, Brazil. I'm working on my Portuguese. Obrigado. I'm so happy to be here. It's been an incredible week. A difficult day yesterday, but what a crowd we've had today. Starting from 8th, making my way through slowly. Congratulations to George. This just goes to everyone back at the factory, everyone here working on the ground. They've just been working so hard this year. This is an amazing result. For us to be on the front row tomorrow is incredible. So from there, we should be able to work as a team and hold off, hopefully, the guys behind.
You were both unable to really show the full potential of the car in yesterday's qualifying. Can we take this result as evidence of what might happen tomorrow?
We're going to try as hard as we can, yeah. If we can have some good degradation tomorrow, hopefully some good weather, we can have a good fight in our hands.
So you want to give this crowd a win tomorrow, right?
Sorry?
You want to give this crowd a win tomorrow, right?
For sure. A win here for Brazil would be incredible.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's give it up for your top three.
Obrigado.